Playday number 12 continues. Infernal Shrines. We got SoundLess versus Inting for Ruby. Another best of 5 heroes of the storm. And, well, at this point, of course, the 4th place team, Team SoundLess, is going up against the number 8. Inting for Ruby, the story continues. It's not going to change until the end of the season. They won a couple of maps. They still haven't won a match. If at some point they can pull off a little bit of a small miracle there and win an entire match, it would be great for them. But as I pointed out multiple times now, the goal for them is not really to make it out of the 8th spot. It's simply to just learn, get a lot of experience in the way that they're playing this out against top teams and just improve their own gameplay. They made it into the Masters Clash, which in and of itself was already a huge accomplishment. And currently, since they are willing to just play and practice week after week after week and not like despairing or trying to YOLO it out or whatever, they're getting a lot out of this. But people, of course, that thought that, hey, maybe they're going to be the up-and-coming team that in their first season immediately smashes the top dogs. Yeah, they're going to be disappointed here, because that's a little bit of a dream world that you're living in there if you thought that. But for them, it's obviously awesome. They play way better now than they did at the beginning of the season. It really shows, and as time continues, they will be able to use that experience to either bring it into the amateur scene in Heroes Lounge, where they also play, or maybe another season of the Masters Clash or other tournaments, stuff like that. But for Team SoundLess, there's a little bit more on the line in the sense that they are now in the 4th spot, and Chili Mountain currently on rank 5. They still hope to somehow overtake them here. But it's up to SoundLess, honestly, to make it nearly impossible for Chili Mountain to bridge that gap by just getting good results. So from their perspective, a 3-0 here would go a long way just to make it more difficult for Chili Mountain to attack them. There are not that many play days left, only 2 after this, so that's the best thing to do. Currently, when we are looking at the bans, there's not really a big surprise coming in on the ban pattern. We have Sonya and Hogger both addressed within the first bans, and picks, obviously. On Infernal Shrines, they gain even more value than on other maps, and even there, they're crazy. We got the Uther first pick right away, so it is going to be an Uther main tank right here. And for the boys in red, Sylvanas and Dehaka. Baby Houdini, so apparently, I never really know if I think it's Baby Houdini is the coffee fiend, right? So he's trying to apparently put me to shame here with my coffee addiction. But yeah, jokes aside, every single time we're joining a lobby, Baby Houdini, you know, is the one who's like, I need another minute, I need to get my coffee and everything. Today he switched it up, so apparently he is on tea today and not coffee. And the team has been talking in the lobby earlier about, okay, how is that going to affect him? Let's see if maybe this is going to go better or worse for us. But yeah, just bantering around with Team SoundLess a bit while we were waiting for the last few players to join. Now we get Malfurion and Junkrat in. So there's a lot of poke from outside of the shrine that you have with Junkrat, and of course potential isolation. If Dehaka hits a drag and then Junkrat comes in with a mine, you can isolate the target nicely. They also have quite a bit of poke just in general. With Sylvanas, you have a lot of push power if you get the objective. And yeah, another Tyrande pick. This is the 2nd time now this weekend that we see Tyrande. And the last time that we saw her, there was this massive gap between the teams, and Tyrande worked out, even though she was punished in certain situations. But over here, I would say we're in a similar situation again. I mean, again, it's number 4 against number 8. But I am just not happy with Tyrande picks in general. Now, I like it a little bit more in this composition for a very simple reason. We have Uther already as a main tank, so that gives you a bit more extra safety in terms of healing power, but also it gives you an option to keep Tyrande alive. So in a double support setup, I'm not quite sure if I mind her that much. Generally, I'm not really the biggest fan of her as a solo support, but in a double support setup as a stun follow, I can see that work out. Either way, game number 1, Infernal Shrine. So let's jump in. Inting for Ruby against Team SoundLess. Okay, let's go. Let's get this game on the road, everybody. SoundLess against Inting for Ruby. Yeah, the match at hand is going to be interesting, simply because the Tyrande Uther combo has a lot of CC now, and of course the main goal has to be to keep Tyrande alive. That's her biggest problem. She's squishy, she doesn't have a lot of escape tools, and with bad positioning you are just going to get farmed. But of course there is a skill gap between the two teams, and Team SoundLess is definitely the favorite in this series. Anyways, at this point we got Nano P on Cassia, we got Hydra on Diva, Shamsik is playing Tyrande, so Ice Cream on Uther, and Falender is playing Maiev. We got Fish on Jojo, Hat on Sylvanas, Nox on Malfurion, Mindtalk on Junkrat, and Baby Houdini is playing Dehaka. Honestly, a hero like Tyrande could really need a bit of a rework. Blizzard has addressed a lot of heroes in the upcoming patch that's currently on the test server. And I gotta say that a lot of the heroes that they were looking at don't need a rework. But yeah, Tyrande is a good example of someone that could have benefited from one. Quick kill against D.Va, and that showcases how strong Junkrat can be when played properly. So that's exactly the isolation setup that I talked about during the draft. If you set a good mine up, and I mean this one was perfect, it doesn't get better than that. You just catapult them on the other side of the wall and all of a sudden it's an easy kill. But yeah, as I mentioned, there's a few heroes that Blizzard has started to rework now, and I think a lot of them just didn't need a rework. They were in a good spot already beforehand. But heroes like Tyrande that have been on the back burner for, I mean, pretty much years at this point, they could really do with a bit of love and even just adjustments on the hit point pool or whatever, because right now they are a shadow of their former selves, which is kind of sad. Back in the old days, you had Tyrande and Muradin just roaming the map trying to go for kills, but those days are long past, and now even on Battlefield of Eternity, she's not really a legit option anymore compared to other supports. Anyways, as it happens, we have the first few camps taken, so the early kill that we saw against D.Va helped the boys in red a bit, but Mindtalk is a little bit aggressive over here. They stole the camp away, so good for them, but they nearly paid a price for it. But right now, I gotta admit that this is a great opening for Inting for Ruby. And they are doing much, much better than initially anticipated. So Team SoundLess, maybe not awake yet. Then again, thinking about it, in Russia, the time zone is a little bit different, so I think they're like 2 hours ahead of us. Maybe the boys are already asleep. I doubt it, but camp at the bot lane. Here comes the invade. Jojo is still there. The kill against Junkrat. They're trying to go for a hat. And here comes Baby Houdini. De Haka Shaka Laka. As he's coming in, the tether away from the point, but it's the red team that takes the objective, and now the blue team, Team SoundLess, has to fight against Objective and the foreman, so they retreat. Nicely done. The camps all taken by Inting for Ruby. Yeah, not bad, not bad. That was actually pretty cool. Inting for Ruby walking away with 3 camps out of 3 at the bottom of the map. That's pretty sexy. Already early game aggression here, and I like it. It's honestly one of the things that I really find pretty cool with Inting for Ruby in general. That they're coming in and they're just not showing any respect. I mean, they show some respect in the sense that they're just not YOLOing and taking it lightly, but you know what I mean. Like, they're not afraid of actually fighting. They're trying to take the battles, they're trying to take the fights. It's the only way to get better here. So while they are attempting to not YOLO and they still have to learn a lot on the macro side, they're still doing better and better. But of course, there's also games like the one last week where they had more or less a free win on Sky Temple, and then they just simply ran it down mid and completely threw the game. That shows clearly that they don't have the experience that other players on this level have by playing professionally for years or just being part of the scene for much longer than they have. And yeah, that Sky Temple game, I think a little bit of me just died inside when I watched that, because it was an absolute free win. That game was so over, and yeah. Another big drag from the Haka. Baby Houdini pulling it off again. Absolutely insane. They're looking for the kill. The problem is that Mindtalk is the first one to fall. So as the Haka sets up a potential kill, it's Junkrat that dies first. The fights continue. Farlander's also down. Hat dropped him. So Maiev got traded for Junkrat. So far, so good. The problem is that SoundLess is on 34 stacks and they just fall back, let it slide, and try to bait it over the wall in order to defend it. The teams are both on level 7 now. But yep, some good stuff over here. Here's the bait over the wall. Iron Skin gets used right away, so they're baiting it in deep, trying to burn it down as quickly as they can, and this is exactly what you need to do. Yeah, once again, just pointing it out, since there's still people out there that don't know how to deal with the Punisher. You want to be behind the gate. You use an ability against the Punisher from behind the gate. Punisher gets vision on you, triggers its ability to jump, jumps over the wall. The opponent's team is stuck on the other side, and you have an easier time to defend because your towers and the fort are all defending against it. So whenever you find yourself on Infernal Shrines and you lose an objective, that's how you deal with it. Don't start fighting in front of the wall. Don't have a hero poking his head out right here. It's going to trigger the Punisher jump. It's going to be on cooldown, and you're going to lose way more than only the outside wall. To the day, it's mind-blowing to me how many people still don't know that. Anyways, now that we have another fight happening, Khaldor camp is already taken, so that is chipping in some extra damage as well. They're trying to go for another tether, and here comes Team SoundLess. But Baby Houdini once again at the front, is going full T-Rex on them over here, but it's also suffering a lot of damage as Farlander is just getting one AoE attack out after another one. Nice. Okay. Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, with level 7 we now got the Khaldorize resistance. By the way, you misspelled my name, Blizzard, just saying. So that's the typo that you gotta fix. And we got Elun's Chosen on level 4. But what I really want to highlight too is that we have already 38 stacks for Cassia. And 6 minutes into the game, that is a pretty respectable number. Now, it doesn't mean that he's going to... Oh my god. yeah, sorry, Sylvanas. You were way too far out there. Now, it doesn't mean that he can continue stacking like this, but at least for now, things are going well for him. Okay, so they're taking the camp here. Up at the top, a bit of a gank setup against Baby Houdini. Is he gonna get away from this? The boost to level 10. And another drag. Yeah, that guy can do things with his tongue, I tell you guys. It is incredible. Just watch him in those team fights. Alright. But, yep. Top right, as we currently got our Sylvanas going straight up for the next camp. Objective should be announced soon. We have level 10 abilities now for both sides. No surprises here, honestly. The Divine Shield can keep Tyrande safe. I mean, it's always one of the questions when you are playing against the Tyrande if you can actually capitalize on her weak constitution. So you need to really go for her. And we saw that yesterday a bit when Tyrande was played on Battlefield of Eternity and the opponent's team was just trying to farm her. If you make that play over and over again for her, you are going to have results. The only question in this situation is, can Uther save her then? But there's the kill against the Haka, and then comes at a really bad time for Inting for Ruby. They take their camp before Sonya can invade. Sorry, before Uther can invade. But they are now... I mean, the Haka will be back by the time that the objective is up, so I suppose it's not as bad as it could have been. The death timers are still pretty low, so there's that. Same time now, top left. Yep, there's another next channel. And, well, with 4 kills to 2, it's time to party. The objective is up. The Haka is back. Here comes the setup. Uther. And that's a kill. No Divine Shield, baby. The Wailing Arrow prevented the Divine Shield. Beautiful kill from Inting for Ruby. And these boys are doing work all of a sudden. Nicely done. One of the reasons why Inting for Ruby oftentimes suffers is that after level 10 and the power spikes kick in, the coordination on the other side is much better, but today they are really starting to excel here. They're closing the gap in kills. It's 4 against 4. Another beautiful setup. So just as Uther comes back, Cassia's down. The top fort is suffering though. So, yep, that's a little bit of a problem. This one is going to fall if nobody takes care of it. But they're going for the objective, still falling slightly behind. They are getting kills in though. But the question is always, can they capitalize on these kills? They need to do something with that. They still have a bit of a window where Cassia is not going to be here. So that's the opportunity. The Haka goes to the top to deal with the camp, making sure that the fort doesn't fall. But down at the bottom, Farlander with the engage as he comes in with the cage. Riptire against, well, not Hydra, no, goes straight into the back. Someone is just in the driver's seat. And there we go, boom. Straight into the face of Uther. And they are fighting full on for this one. They want the objective now. The top fort has fallen. Little bouncing ball over here. Fish in trouble. And Jojo is down. Baby Houdini gets attacked. Nox gets murdered. That's a double kill. Make it a triple, baby. 3 down. And that is bad news now for Inting for Ruby. They're going to lose another objective and gotta fall back. Beautiful fight that we saw there. And yes, Jojo died first, as you can see. Then they made the play for Malfurion. They got him 2, and even the Haka fell shortly after. And with that triple kill, they could make the easy play. Now we have 7 kills, 2 for objective number 2 in the mid lane. Once again for the blue team, for Team SoundLess, as they are looking to take down the second fort of the game. Their camp already annihilated the one at the top, and now they're taking the one in the mid lane, as they're starting to go straight up, maybe even for the keep itself, or at least for the wall. Hydra's at the bottom of the map, side laning it and trying to put more pressure onto this one. But this is definitely a pretty big snowball. The bait over the wall, once again successful, so the same play that we saw at the top, trying to isolate the Punisher so you can take it down a bit easier without the opponent's team interfering. But it just triggers a rotation of Team SoundLess down to the bottom of the map, where they have an opportunity to take the fort down. If not destroy it, then at least get it very, very low. The Haka, the big miss on the isolation, but the man doesn't miss a tongue. Blessed Shield also misses. I call that the solidarity throw. Jojo realizing that the isolation didn't hit home, and to make sure that the Haka doesn't feel too bad, she also just YOLO'd out her Blessed Shield into the empty space. A zoning Blessed Shield, so to say. And with that, we have them already on the back foot once again. They can't fight here. With 2 ults already out of commission, there's no way. Good stun, but the Nature's Cure helping out Sylvanas. And, yep, bit of a love tap from Tyrande. Sylvanas, mini Sylvanas jumping on the wave. The fish is already moving out. Yeah, and that is a 1-level lead right now. 27,000 damage for Sylvanas. Cassia sitting at 35k. And Maiev is also on 29. And talking about Maiev is already pushing the top lane out a little bit more. So Farlander is currently making his mark on the top lane, getting those minions taken out, bringing the team closer to level 16. And of course, always attempting to pressure the structures a bit more. The level 16 talents now in the hands of Team SoundLess. They definitely have another power spike coming their way. Benediction is already kicking in, so that's going to be quite nice for Uther. Adds more CC to the mix as well. For Tyrande in this case, we got the Celestial Attunement. So you have another big cleanse here, and that's going to be quite nice. Especially, of course, against the Haka, against Malfurion, and against Jojo. There's a lot that he can do with that now. So really nice plays for Tyrande here too. It's kind of sad that this is 16 now. Gone are the days where it was a level 7 talent and all of a sudden Tyrande was reigning supreme in so many situations. The Haka trying to use the global on the other side of the map to also pressure structures. They haven't taken a single fort down yet, so they haven't really done anything here at trying to remedy that fact. The Haka is doing what he can, and he's bringing the team closer and closer to the next talent here, which they will need for the objective, but that shouldn't be a problem. Hydra is already coming in. Pushing Baby Houdini out. Nobody else is rotating over yet, so they're going to be totally safe. Instead, it's the camp that's going to be taken. Now, keep in mind that they actually stole this one away. SoundLess was grabbing this, and Sylvanas just takes it out, which means that once the objective is up and this one gets timed around it, it's going to push the top lane. Catapults are going to be part of it, and it's going to be a pretty nasty push. Now, we got the Will of the Forsaken now for Sylvana, so that gives her a couple of unstoppable frames that she can use as well. The Moonlit Harmony is in here too, and we're going to play around that. We got 53 stacks now for Cassia. It's, by the way, a good example of what I talked about earlier. 6 minutes into the game, the NOP already at 40, and then the game slowed down a bit because Inting for Ruby couldn't take all these fights anymore since they were starting to fall behind. And therefore, the stacking was also slowed down significantly. Alright, the Aka's coming in. Isolation. This time it connects on Tyrande. She's already on the run, but Baby Houdini in trouble. And here comes Farlander with a quick hit in the kill. Fish is also in trouble. Malfurion is already dead. The fish gets murdered. Malfurion is down, and that's another triple kill for the team in blue. They're going for the objective. They're prepping the lanes. They can steal the camps. They can open up the bot lane wall now too. These guys are just everywhere at this point. Yeah, looking really, really good at this part. Yeah, that's taken out, will open up the keep. Then they can go for that right away. Now, the full 5-man should be back in time for it. But as you can already tell, things are falling apart on multiple lanes right now for Inting for Ruby, as they're desperately trying to somehow hold on to all of this. Yeah, it's a bit tricky. I mean, the problem is also the 2-level gap that we have. The stats advantage is solid for Team SoundLess, and on top of that, they're also going to look at level 20 talents. That will have a pretty big impact here. Fountain is already down, top lane at least for now eliminated. There's still a catapult here that needs to be taken care of. The objective is now moving in as well, and the keep is already low. So they're gonna likely try to go for the core here, at least if they can get a kill or two. And if they can lock in the level 20, of course. So the best thing for Inting for Ruby would be a kill. If they can somehow manage that, would be fantastic. And they're trying to go for Maiev here, who drops the cage. But the keep is gone, and things are looking pretty bad for the red team. Inting for Ruby, yeah, they are in trouble. Here comes the tether attempt. Punisher already walking straight towards the core, and the attack is just imminent. They're looking for more kills. The level 20 talents are now in as well. Redemption has been chosen here. The shield is falling on the core. Jojo is down 80%. Baby Houdini is trying. Hat gets dropped by Maiev. And that, ladies, is game number 1 in the bag for Team SoundLess. They're taking down Inting for Ruby in game number 1 of the best of 5 Heroes of the Storm series here at the Master Slash. Nicely done, GG, and well played as Team SoundLess takes the lead in the best of 5. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2, Dragonshire is the second map, and map choice again by Inting for Ruby. So they came in and immediately said, okay, you know what boys, we're gonna go straight up for map choice, no first pick, first ban. Again, I assume that they're using this also as a bit of a practice ground to just test things that they already played in scrims, in other matches, just focus on certain maps where they want to get a little bit better. But yep, let's see what exactly we're gonna have with on this one. Because as kind of expected, Team SoundLess, they are in the lead right now, so they pulled ahead with the 1-0. Especially after level 10 on the objectives, they did just way better. And one of the issues that Inting for Ruby oftentimes has is that they're struggling to capitalize on getting kills. Oftentimes you see them get 1 or 2 kills, but they're never really in a position where they can get as much out of it as you would expect. So we'll see if on Dragonshire this is going to be a bit different. It's always interesting to me when they pick the map, because it is one of the maps that needs the most macro. And that's generally where they definitely need to get a little better there. But of course they have the Haka, and Baby Houdini wants to use the global. But there's a bit of a fixation that he has on the hero too, because we're still talking about a setup in which you could have gone for Rexa. And Rexa is pretty strong on Dragonshire. Now Hogger was banned out, Sonya was taken as a first pick, which is fairly often the case. So the Haka is not a horrible choice or anything. Now they got Karazim too. Now honestly, wonder if we are finally getting an Abathur pick for Hat. Or if Hat gets the Hat. Because with the Haka and Karazim, especially when you're seeing a Karazim in the game, that kind of screams Abathur. Abathur really, really helps a Karazim composition. And if you have Karazim dashing after you with a symbiote on his head, then that is insanely dangerous. But, well, we got Malfurion and May on the other side, so that's already some CC that we're bringing in with Sir Ice Cream. Maiev gets banned so that Farlander can't rip them apart anymore with those tethers, as he did in the last game, and force these fights the entire time. And on top of that, we now have the last ban coming through, and they are deciding to ban our Jimmy. Alright, so Jimmy is already gone. Could they play Tracer here? They got Malfurion. We might see a Tracer pick on their end. We'll see. If you ban Jimmy, that's always a little bit suspicious. It depends a little bit on the map, on where he's getting banned. Now, of course, on this one, there's a lot of mercenary camps. Blaze and Greymane. Fish is doing it again. They're playing the Blaze main tank again. And they're bringing Greymane also back in. And the more I see this, the more I want an Abathur with it. I mean, seriously. There's Hanzo and Phoenix. Okay, so Farlander with Phoenix, pulling a bit of a Nick here, who always seems to play the hero. But yeah, what are we getting as the final pick for Inting for Ruby? Is it going to be an Abathur pick? I don't think they have played him yet this season, so it's a bit unlikely, I suppose. Comp would work, but more likely that they're picking another range damage dealer here for themselves. And the pick is Li Ming. Mind Talk. Is he going to go for his Cannoneer style again? Or has he learned his lessons after he got farmed the last time? Time will tell. Dragonshire, map number 2 in the best of 5. Let's jump in and head straight into the second map of the series here at the Masters Clash. Game number 2, we're on Dragonshire on the left side with the 1-0 lead in the best of 5 series. Team SoundLess with Hydra on Sonya, Shamsik on Malfurion, Nanopi on Hanzo. Sir Ice Cream is playing May, and Farlander plays Phoenix for the blue team. On the right side of the map, Li Ming, played by Mind Talk. Fish on Blaze, Nox on Karazim, Hat is playing Greymane, and Baby Houdini is playing the Haka once again. Quick reminder also for all of you that there is an offline final planned for the Masters Clash that is going to take place in Paris on the 10th and 11th of July. More information can be found on mastersclash.eu. You can also just simply go to Google, search for Heroes of the Storm and Masters Clash, and you should find the website. There are a couple of restrictions because of COVID, but right now it is, honestly, the extent of it is, as far as I know, that you need to have a PCR test a couple of days before you will go into France, and that's about it. There's of course a lot of money on the line as well. The guaranteed prize pool is 10,000 euros, and on top of that is, if I'm not mistaken, also the crowdfunding. But with all of that, the teams are of course very, very eager to end the final few play days in decent fashion, set themselves up for the playoffs, and then ensure that they have a shot to attend the offline final in Paris itself. Which is honestly the biggest draw for a lot of these teams anyways, even more than a lot of the prize money, just because it's finally another opportunity to meet everybody in person and just meme around a bit. And, well, Team SoundLess is already taking down Blaze. That main tank is getting murdered very quickly here. Nice move. And of course now the camp is going to be taken. Greyman excels in that situation. So he's coming in and taking this one down quickly. I'm still keeping my eye on Mind Talk because I really want to see if he's just sticking it out with his comp and his like build on Liming that he normally plays. Teams have started to pick up a little bit more on how vulnerable he is without him taking, let's say, the level 13 Illusionist. And he's getting punished more often now lately whenever he does that. So time will tell. Mindtalk is already grabbing the camp or the shrine at the bottom. Up at the top, we got a full-on setup against Farlander that is likely going to end with him dying. There's no way he gets out. Yeah, they're going full-on for it, and there we have it. The kill against Farlander. There's nobody in the middle to capitalize on the control of the two shrines, obviously, since they all rotated to the top to get the kill. But again, they got the kill, so that's half the battle. Level 4 talents are kicking in. And with the Siege Giants at the bot lane, it seems like the blue team is at least trying to put some pressure onto Liming in the lane here, which they should be able to execute properly as well, of course. Head is already jumping in, trying to take this one down. And that's a lot. Yeah, okay, here comes the rotation. I was just about to say, they need some assistance for Hydra, or he is going to lose everything topside. And now with Mei sliding in, that's exactly what they needed. Yeah, can maybe even turn it against Fish. It's not quite coming to that, but at least they're pushing them back for now, and they're limiting the damage a little bit. Now the gate is nearly down, and one of the towers has fallen, but nobody died, and the part of the wall is at least still standing. Hanzo down there, already sitting tight, okay. Mind Talk is always looking for an opportunity, but he needs to be super careful, because Malfurion was lingering around for a while. And at the same time, at the top, the party continues, but Malfurion with the Dragon Knight in the mid lane. Yep, they are a little bit too late. This is exactly one of those examples where I'm talking about the lack of map awareness or control, where just general macro is lacking a little bit for Inting, for Ruby. And they are losing the Dragon Knight because of it. Greymane, when he doesn't get his ass kicked by the DK, is going to be in a spot where he should be able to chunk it down quickly, especially in Worgen form, but then at the same time, it's early in the game, so the Dragon Knight hasn't scaled that hard yet. Still able to help them to take the wall down, so there's that. So with all of this, we got the level 7 talents kicking in for the two teams. Should give us the Calamity now, yep, there it is. And top of that, we got the Nature's Cure, we got the Battle Rage in. A warp setup for Farlander as they go for Baby Houdini. And he gets out, connects the drag just for show. Nothing that he can really do with it, but it looks good. So yeah, he's just aiming for it. That guy. It's like, honestly, it's kind of impressive how many of those he hits. Talking about hitting things, damn son. They teed that kill up, didn't they? That was a fantastic kill that he just locked in there. So great job. Liming with a quick one-shot. Yeah, Mind Talk gets pinged. Hydra was coming in from the top, so he needed to be careful around this. But with everybody focusing on the Bruiser camp at the bottom, seems like the blue team is willing to invade this. Phoenix is on the way. Right now it's a 3 versus 4. And they're winning it. Another Tong connects. I mean, seriously. Can Baby Houdini please for once miss one of these drags? I mean, honestly, what that guy can pull off with his Tong is any girl's dream. It's absolutely insane. The skills on this boy. That's some serious talent that he has there. Anyways, now check this one out. I mean, here, Hydra is trying to move out. The Haka comes in, gets him, and that's an easy kill. I mean, easy peasy. And of course, then they follow it up with kill number 2 against Mei. They take the camp, they push the bot lane. They now have a lead with half a level, and they finally have a bit of control on the map too. So, yeah, it is kind of crazy. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Another one! I mean, dude, like, slow down, please. At this point, I would believe it if you told me that Hydra is deliberately running straight into it. Oh, Falender is pausing the game. Yeah, at this point, they're just saying, like, hey, something isn't right here. This guy has a magnet attached to his tongue or something, because this just can't be right. I mean, that boy has just way too many skills. Whatever's happening here, this can't be it. Maybe it's the tea that he's been drinking today. Went from coffee to tea, all of a sudden, some of the jitters are gone, and he comes in and just hits them time and time again. But yeah, anyway, so with level 10 around the corner for the red team, they are in a perfect position to not only steal this one away, but maybe even get a kill. If they just get a bit more experience, that's what's going to happen. And also keep in mind that Mindtalk is sitting at the side, so he can either try to get them the experience on the wave, or he can simply come in and drop the combo there. When it comes to the damage output, we got Li Ming at 7,000 damage, so is Greymane in a pretty decent spot. Should, by the way, go for probably falling for the bullet here as well. But the situation is a pretty decent one for Inting for Ruby. They're at least off to a good start in the game. Now, Falender is most likely going to rotate down here. Only one, by the way, that hasn't died yet for Team SoundLess is Malfurion. He's the only one that didn't go down yet. Yeah, and at the same time, we're still waiting for a few more stacks to come together for the new habits on Blaze. The main tank for Fish is still waiting for the regeneration globes to get the Pyromania. And at least for now, things are looking much, much better than in game number 1. Here comes the combo. Trying to make the play. Keep Phoenix in mind. He's already sitting at the side here. May with the control attempt. That's the stun. So Ice Cream. And he's down. Melted. May got melted away like so Ice Cream in the sun. No chance. I mean, with the oil spill and then setting everything afire right there, there was no chance for her to escape. So yeah, that was an absolute easy kill for them. Overstayed the welcome just a little bit. Greenpeace wasn't too happy about it, but hey, they accomplished their goal, and that's all good right there. Anyways, now that we have our move straight down to the bot lane in an attempt to not only control the shrine again, but also maybe take the wall down, the level 10 abilities kick in for both teams. And we got the meme strike. Hanzo is going to meme it out a little bit, hoping for the level 20, of course, when he gets the cooldown reduction. But outside of that, also able to maybe isolate a target or get some good hits in whenever Mei sets the wall up. I suppose that's the idea here. There's a 7-sided, there's the bullet, Li Ming is down, and Phoenix escaped. Another Dehaka move comes in, sucks them away. Fish is low, and there's the ice wall set up straight against Greymane, and the wolf is dead. The big bad wolf gets destroyed. Baby Houdini is on the move, and he's gonna escape once again. No problem. Easy peasy. Yeah, that was actually nicely done, but they still have to try and slow this down a little bit just to make sure that Hydra... Oh, and another one! Comes in, gets the slurp, and that's an easy hit against Hydra. Okay, he missed the second one. Now he's just trying to show off. But yeah, they stayed way too long. Buying a bit of time is awesome. It gives Li Ming time to take the shrine at the bottom of the map. But of course, overstaying and then losing the Haka is not helping their cause. It's 5 kills to 5 now. And it's a pretty good example of what I mean when I talk about some of the problems that Inting for Ruby has. They just sometimes don't know when to fall back and how long to stay. But again, they had some great fights here already. It's just that they are not really capitalizing on the advantages that they take, and it shows now as another Dragon Knight enters the fray for Team SoundLess as they're moving down to the bottom of the map. So, well, there we go. But, here we go. Take down the wall, I suppose. Hat coming in. So, Ice Cream, careful. Yeah, they are 3 versus 3, and that Dragon Knight makes 4. So, gotta be careful here. Yeah, there's the punt. And this is not looking good for the fort. No, not really. The level 13 is also in. Yep, a little bit more warp style with the Endemium shell. Oh, but May. And another one! Gets another drag and just a big save with the ice wall. Nano P is alive. Hydra turns it around, slams Li Ming, and they get the double kill. Sometimes it just feels bad. After the Haka connected the drag, it looked like Hanzo would fall, but instead it's a nice save from May. Then Sonya turns it around, both of them die, and there's that. Also, I mentioned it during the draft, and it has indeed come to pass once more, as we see Greymane and Karazim die. We got, again, the Cannoneer on level 13. Yeah, no illusionist. Baby Houdini, 1v5ing it at this point. It's like, damn boys, do I need to do everything by myself? He comes in, tries to go for the 1v5, and yeah, it was just a little bit too much for him to handle. So the Haka goes down, 10 kills to 5. They went for the full 5-man team wipe, more or less. So Ice Cream, on the other hand, is about to fall. Finally a kill. Mind Talk gets 1, gets 2, and let's make it a triple hat. Yes! There it is. They get the kills, and all of a sudden, they are starting to lead the show again. They haven't lost the keep yet, and that was pretty sexy. Now, check this one out, just to give you guys a bit of an idea. The first kill against Mei comes in with Calamity, then he pops Hanzo, and then he turns it. Shamzik is trying to escape with Malfurion, and he runs straight into the fangs of Greymane and gets also taken down. Nicely done. Yeah, it's a nice back and forth. It's kind of funny. And experience is very, very even. But Inting for Ruby, they need to take some of these structures down. It's mind-blowing to me that with so many kills and so many opportunities, they still haven't taken down a single fort, or at least dropped the wall. So they need to work around that a little bit more. But now that we have Greymane on the prowl again, straight up to the next Bruiser camp, we're going to see them with another camp. Fish down here, Mind Talk, they're all in a bit of trouble. Spear connects, the oil spill, slowing them down, the fish. Nox is helping him as much as he can, but he runs straight into the wall. Fish gets out, and now the rest of them has to dash out too. There's the meme strike. Dehaka again. Dehaka, 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 shakalaka. No, no drag. No drag this time. No, doesn't connect the tongue. Meantime, Farlander has taken the bottom shrine, so they're threatening another Dragonite, and they got the level 16. So they got the level 16 talent, and now... yeah, Inting for Ruby has to step it up a little bit. We got the camp at the top, thanks to Greymane. The big bad wolf being useful once again. And here comes the 16, so now we all of a sudden have the mirror ball in action. We already got the elongated tongue. Can you imagine what he can do with this? Unless he's dead, of course. But no, he survives. Ooh, 7-sided, baby! There we go. Shamzik, the isolation has hit, and Shamzik gets out. You got to be kidding me. Malfurion, how are you alive? How did Shamzik make it out again? There's a kill, at least against one of them. Sir Ice Cream with 10 HP as he drops the trade. They're turning it against Blaze, and everybody's on the run again. Oh, the game's here. Greymane on the way down to the bottom. But yeah, check Malfurion. Have a look at Malfurion here. I mean, insanity. Absolute insanity. The isolation hits him, then they focus on him. He eats most of the 7-sided strike damage, and then he just walks away, and nobody is in a position where they can put the final hit in, so he just escapes. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's a bit of a ring around the rosy game now, as both teams are looking to take shrines and hoping for a Dragonite. But at the top, 7-sided to the face, baby. And they're going for Mei, they're going for Malfurion. No, 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 no! Not again! What is this? Tell me he died at least once. Yeah, he died once. Greymane took him down earlier. How is this guy just surviving every single escape? That's crazy. That's just freaking crazy. Check it out. The kill gets booped in by Li Ming. Isolation hits. He just walks away. That's the second time in a row. Oh, my talk. Ah, he gets out. Nice. Okay, 11 kills to 10. Yeah, this one is fun. And as the game continues, Hanzo is going to get some serious value out of his level 10 choice once that he gets the cooldown reduction for it. But boy, are they playing this out right now. But honestly, for me, this story is Shamzik. Malfurion, that old geezer. He's just always walking away. Inting for Ruby, they bring him in until an inch of his life. And yeah, then he just like walks out and he's just like, no, I don't care. It's fine. Camp gets stolen away. Nicely done. Good timing. Yeah, and here comes once again Sir Ice Cream as they're moving in. They're looking for the stun. They can't get it. Twilight Dream. Bunker is in. Cleanses out. And there comes the kill against Li Ming. They get Greymane too. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's a triple, baby. That's 2 down. And the fish is falling as well. 3 heroes eliminated. And with a triple kill, they are moving down to the bottom of the map. The easy double against Li Ming and Greymane. They're playing around the bunker, take Karazim down, and then Blaze is the last one to fall. And of course, now the keep is wide open at the bottom of the map. The blue team going straight for it, and they're not going to stop here. They're going to try to go for the core immediately. And there's nobody here to stop them. Dehaka is the only one. He can half back. He was trying to see if they maybe go for the objective and was attempting to prevent it. But now he has to just try his best to delay them. But there's just no way. Li Ming is down for another 6 seconds. She's the first one to respawn. Dehaka is about to be taken out. And that's going to be a 2-0 lead in this best of 5 series for Team SoundLess. Nicely done. Fun game though. Really fun one. But Inting for Ruby takes the loss on Dragonshire. Battlefield of Eternity, map number 3, the 2-0 lead for Team SoundLess. Yeah, Inting for Ruby. We had to wait for Baby Houdini again, and we were all asking in the lobby, hey, what's going on, where is he? And Fish immediately replies, like, guys, we need a second, he's getting coffee. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? You told us it's tea today. And I was like, yeah, but tea isn't working. And I'm just like, dude, did you not see those tongs? Did you not see that hit rate with the Hawkeyes? Like, what are you talking about? And apparently he was mixing things, so he gets weirder every single time that he's playing. So apparently he didn't just go for tea. He had a cup of coffee and a cup of tea heading into the first and second game. And now he switched it back to coffee. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that guy. But I don't envy his stomach and his liver. I think both of them are definitely suffering. So are his opponents, though, whenever he gets the haka. But, of course, the 2-0 lead, at least for now, gives Team SoundLess the upper hand. Battlefield of Eternity is once again the map choice of the team in red, so they decide to go with the same pattern. When they lose, they come in and say, well, we're going to go for the map. Going to play that out so that we don't have to play on any hot garbage here. And here's our Lucio pick. Farlander actually locking this in now, so they can always swap. But let's keep an eye on that. If they meme it out on the last map a little bit, or what exactly we're going to get there. I'm a little bit curious on what kind of tea he actually goes for. That would interest me a little bit. Like black tea and coffee. The full shebang. But yeah. Okay, Sonya and Stukov are in. So we got with Stukov already the potential to go maybe even for a variant later. And then try the oldie but goldie. Go for an insta blow up comp. Now, keep a little bit in mind that we still have also Rexa up, which has been played by Team SoundLess a lot, also in Battlefield of Eternity. There he is. By Hydra. Shamzik is going for Hanzo again. Okay. And that's already a good setup. And Lucy can, of course, also annoy you quite a bit. But I want to see what's happening now around the Stukov pick. What are they setting up as the main tank in order to allow Stukov to follow a stun up with the Lurking Arm or any kind of CC? May is also still up for grabs, just putting it out there. She's been played a lot, honestly. So, yeah, there's another chance to lock her in again. And the Fish. Ah, bans first. There's the May ban. Yeah, so much for her. Alright, so May gets banned out. I was just about to say. And what do they ban against that? Are we going to see the Li Ming ban? Honestly, if you go up against like Inting for Ruby, what do you ban? Maybe you just ban Li Ming out because you know that Mind Talk would like to play it. So just deny it, you know? I don't think that they themselves are going to... well, actually, Nenopi could pick it, but I don't think he was going to get her as the last pick. So we could actually see her being banned. Nope, instead Diablo. Yeah, so what's the tank? Inubarak, Varian, what are they playing here? I mean, Mirrodin would work too. Mirrodin, Stormbolt, Stukov follow-up. Now, if you go for the kill combo, traditionally Varian is more so your friend. But right now, you could play with either. Always assuming that it is one of those one-shot comps, and then Li Ming would also fit very nicely. Yeah, the Sul'jin setup. We see him a little bit more on Battlefield of Eternity. So we have Auriel and Sul'jin. Stukov, Auriel, and Sul'jin. Double support Sul'jin setup. Yeah, give him the axe, baby. We've seen that a few times now. Sul'jin is getting more and more popular on Battlefield of Eternity as a pick. Against Misha, you will have a lot of stacking opportunities, but that's of course only the case when you're setting Sul'jin up at the top side. Garrosh is in, and there's the Li Ming pick. Didn't think that he would be able to get it as the last pick. I thought that Mind Talk would take it, but he's on Auriel now. He's going for the whip. And the Fish with the last pick. What are we getting from them now? Okay. Fishy, fishy, fishy. It's actually so sad that Hat isn't playing. Like, Hat and Fish, they need to team up and play Abatha and Murky. With those names, I mean, are you kidding me? Come on, please. Well, but there's Imperius. Alright, Imperius is in. Game number 3. Could be the last map. Unless, of course, Inting for Ruby locks in a map victory right now. We got a Sul'jin setup for the boys in red, so let's jump into the third game. Battlefield of Eternity here at the 12th Playday of the Masters Clash. Game number 3, SoundLess with a 2-0 lead against Inting for Ruby, everybody. Hydra on Rexa for the blue team. So Ice Cream on Garrosh, Farlander on Hanzo, Shamzik on Lucio, and we got Nanopi on Li Ming. On the right side of the map, Inting for Ruby with Mindtalk, the double support setup. Mindtalk on Oriel, Nox on Stukov. We got Hat on Sul'jin and Fish on Sonya with Baby Houdini locking in the last pick. He's playing Imperius for the team. And what is being played out at the top? Honestly, I kind of expected that Sul'jin would try and make a play for the Rexa lane if they're already going for a 2-3 split. Given the fact that they are rocking a double support here, this setup definitely works. But if you want to stack, then that would of course be a pretty nice setup. You want to get your 15 stacks together as quickly as you can on the baseline so that you get the range increase. That's always neat if you can make that happen. Yeah, for now, we got the body check coming in. We already got the bird of prey. And Sul'jin is starting things off with a bone slicer. Alright. The searing light. Okay, the girl's in. Here comes the first attempt. And Sul'jin, he's trolling, isn't he? There's the kill. Garrosh is down. And Hat is dead too. Kill for a kill. Easy peasy. Sul'jin dead, but so is Garrosh. But to be fair, given the fact that we have a 2 versus 1 setup top side, that's actually not too bad for them. Trading in the superior numbers at the bottom of the map. The whip into the wall as Misha gets attacked here. But that's a stun that sets Nanopi up and he connects the combo with Mind Talk. But they can't quite get enough damage in to get the kill here. But again, kind of got close. So now at the bottom of the map, our setup is already good to go for them. Hat is still starting to stack a bit further. They have some really nice moments in the early game in particular, but it just seems that once the games continue and we get level 10 in, they are struggling a bit more. To be honest with you, one of the things that I'm really looking forward to with Inting for Ruby is I want to see how they do once that Heroes Lounge Division 1 Plus starts. Because I will definitely cast a couple of the games there, and I really want to see how Inting for Ruby, always assuming that they're playing, how they're going to perform there. Because I think that while the Masters Clash is obviously a big learning experience for them, everything that they learn here is very likely going to translate into them doing just way better on the level where they previously played. And they should definitely have taken the entire setup to another step. Even though they're getting a little bit farm topside now, that's an easy kill against Sonya, and Mindtalk nearly paid the price too. Now, bottom of the map, there's at least some pressure going on. But if you're looking at the setup for Team SoundLess, they're not giving a lot of opportunities to Hat to stack. He's still sitting at 0 stacks. 0. He has not a single stacks right now. Not one. Which is a bit crazy. Now, we got on level 4 now, the Voodoo Shuffle in. We also got the repeated offense. And up here, there's Mind Talk. I can't help myself, but I look at talent names like Repeated Offense, and I look at her just like whipping it up the entire time, and I want a Domina skin for Oriel. I mean, honestly, if you're just going full sex dungeon on me with that setup, then at least go all the way and give me a proper skin for her. Because at that point, she's just coming in, she's whipping you, and the repeated offenders, they get punished. They get punished hard because they've been very bad. They've been bad boys, especially Hanzo. Oh my god. It's like Blizzard, seriously. All of that sexual innuendo that they always come in with. Somebody over there has just a dirty mind. You have talent names like the Growing Infestation on Stukov, and it's just wrong. It's just so wrong. I mean, he can show his Growing Infestation to Oriel and she can punish him a little bit, but it's just not okay. Blizzard, what the fuck are you doing? You can't tell me I'm the only one that sees that. You guys have been thinking about it. I'm just the only one that dares to mention it. Garrosh is down. He got punished. And they're trying to get a bit more out of the situation, but they get the halftime show. So, yeah, there's that. Halftime show, easy peasy victory. And Hat still 3 stacks together for now. Another whip into the wall. Yeah, punish them. Punish them, Oriel. Just go for it. One kill, they go for Nano P, and Li Ming has been a bad girl too. Not as bad as Raxa though, so he is the first one to fall. And they're gonna get the big objective. They're getting it right here. We got the Vicious Assault. Let's go. Oh boy. Yeah, there's so much wrong here. The level 7 talents are in. They're a little bit ahead. They can now push the top lane out. I think he's reading talents. Level 7 hasn't been taken yet. Outside of that, we now have the Flash of Anger right here. And in we go. The top lane push that should at least do a little bit of damage to the fort, if not take down the entire thing. Oriel still without level 7. Here we go. The Glimmer of Hope. That's another name for safe word. Baby Houdini. Baby Houdini. And no. Yeah, baby. That was really, really close. But there's a lot of aggression still at the fort. And by the way, the top lane is not the only one that gets attacked. I like what Inting for Ruby is doing. The two-pronged attack at the top and at the bottom, and it leads to one fort being destroyed and the second one nearly taken down. So nicely done. I like it a lot. That was a real solid setup. They got tons of damage on the structures. 4 kills to 3. They had an experience. As far as first objectives go in Battlefield of Eternity, this is about as good as it gets. It doesn't get much better, honestly. So, yeah, that's like really, really solid. But anyways. Okay, so... I mean, talking about safe words, I actually have a friend that has a safe word, and like he told me some stories, and I'm always interested, like what's a good safe word, and he told me it's like the best shit, honestly. Like that story still makes me laugh. So his safe word is like, well, sometimes you know you can't talk, so you need to go for something that you can also communicate when you when you can't talk. So his safe word is just humming. So humming happy birthday is his safe word, and it's fucking ingenious. To the day, every single time I hear anybody going for happy birthday, I'm breaking out laughing because I have to think about him being being completely incapacitated and just sitting there. It's been years and it's just fucking killing me every single time. It's so fucking good. And it's ingenious. It's honestly ingenious. Oh, but yeah, that story, oh my god. I have tears in my eyes. At a children's birthday party and everybody is starting and I'm just cracking up in the corner and everybody's like, what is wrong with that guy? Oh, anyways, the game is good too, by the way. So we got 6 kills to 6. 7.5 in. We got level 10 abilities finally, and they decided they would go in full on the leap. Now we already got the Dragon's Arrow and also Decimate in play. But this is the next objective, and with 2 forts already down, the lead goes to Inting for Ruby. So, let's go. At this point, 6 kills to 6. Camps on the map. Here comes already the setup. The fish turning it around with a quick spear. Leap. Whoa. And so Ice Cream says, I don't give a fuck, and just walks away. All the effort here and nothing. They get nothing out of it. Instead, Oriel dies. Yeah, she gets punished. And the triple kill is in. Nice. They take 3 down, and oh boy, quite the action here. Look at this. Oriel just gets blown away after the Aegis is over. And they get the easy kill in. The halftime show is therefore won as well. At the bottom of the map, the camp had to be taken down. At the top lane, we're seeing the same thing as Hydra was rotating over to save the keep. So the initial damage against the structures was brilliant. But now it seems like they're losing the second Immortal. And by a huge margin too. I mean, this is not even close. No. Right now, as you can tell, this is just bad. Yeah. Dr. Sheep, what's your prognosis for the next push? It's bad. Top lane is going to be in trouble, 100%. Yeah, level 13 talents already. That gives you the talent lead, the stats lead, and 100% shield on the Immortal. It's nasty. Absolutely nasty. So right now, they're going for Farlander. The piggy! The money pig! The leap! The connect! Farlander! And he's dead. Leap didn't do anything but close the gap, but that was more than they needed. And they got the kill. Good for them. Guys, that's a seriously nice defense as long as they save the fish. Ah, Stukov is down. Oh no. Oh no. Not like this. It's a quad kill and the fort is dead too. Yeah, look at this. The fish was trying to spin the win back to victory and then they just get popped, all of them. Liming is saying, here come the resets. Comes in and just drops all of them. So, unfortunate for Inting for Ruby. They look great at the first objective, but yeah, it's rough. The top keep is in trouble. The fort has fallen. Hanzo is at the bottom of the map. Hanzo is currently the guy that says, like, look at my siege damage, I'm helping. Nah, Farlander obviously is trying to get them some additional structural damage in. Rest of the team. It kind of sucks if you have to leave and the keep is this low. They could have sent Misha in. They could have sent Misha in to deal with it, but no. So yeah, Oriel, the piercing lash. I mean, now she's overdoing it a little bit. Once that he breaks skin, it's too much, honestly. 13-7. Well, 11 minutes into the game, the hopes and dreams of Inting for Ruby are not squashed just yet, but given the level 16 that is so close for the blue team, I think we can all agree that it's going to be an uphill battle. I don't think they can close the experience gap. And look at what SoundLess is doing. They're already moving straight to the bot lane in another attempt to, just take the wall down for the keep. And if they lock in another Punisher, another thingy, Immortal with that... yeah, goodbye, Sonya. If they lock in another Immortal on this one, then they're in trouble. By the way, talking about Hat a little bit and about Suljin just in general, if you have a look at the stacks, he's still sitting at 12, so he's nowhere near at a position where he can actually get the ranged increase and therefore play it a little bit safer here. Yeah, it's just too much. I mean, for now, it's level 16 on the board, 14 kills to 7. The damage output for Sulj is at 16,000. And yeah, it's a bit tough. The objective spawns. There's no way they get 16 in time for the fight. So at this point, you only have bad options left. It's a lost situation. You want to take the team fight because you have talent behind in a level, but you have to. That's what objectives do to the game, and they force you to fight. And honestly, I think objectives are a fantastic mechanic. I really like it as an idea, and this is what we're seeing right now. It forces you into the middle of the map to fight, but this is obviously a battle that Inting for Ruby, if they had a choice, would not take. But they gotta try. So they try to at least trade into the 50% on the halftime show, which is alright. But there's the play. Can they rush it down? Here comes the blue team trying to force the fight. They're going straight for Baby Houdini. The Aegis, the leap. Only stunned out Misha. And there's the stun of the Immortal. Even he is chipping in. That's an insta-kill against Suljin. Imperious is dead. 3 down, 4 down. 5-man team wipe, everybody. Full-on 5-man wipe. And we're going to enjoy that one once again. Having a little bit of a look over here as we're moving straight in to see who is able to lock in the victory here. So, easy peasy hits, nicely done. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the 3-0 win in this best of 5 series for Team SoundLess. Inting for Ruby going down in flames. 19 kills to 7. Great job by the blue team as they solidify their 4th position, the rank 4 in the standings. Great job and congratulations. 0 deaths on Liming, by the way. Also nice.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.